What's up everybody? So in this video we're going to be discussing what a clay bar is and a clay lube. But first I'll put the kettle on. Okay, so before we do start on what a clay bar is, I just want to make a quick point. Before a clay bar is used or even needed, you will need to make sure you have removed as much contamination as possible using chemical products. So that includes your tar and glue removers, your fallout removers, and of course all your pre-wash and contact washing methods. The reason for this is because a clay bar is quite an aggressive way to remove contamination. What happens is all the contamination is getting pulled off the surface by the clay, and as your clay will fill with contamination, that surface is essentially rubbing against your clear coat finish, and it will be abrasive because the contamination is sticking into the clay. So this is kind of last resort method if the paintwork just doesn't quite feel smooth. This is what the final step in the decontamination process. So go and watch the videos regarding a tar and glue remover and a fallout remover first if you haven't already. I will leave a link in the description below to those, and then we can get started on what a clay bar is. Clay bars are used to remove stubborn contamination that your chemical products and all your other wash methods won't remove or might struggle with, such as overspray and really stubborn fallout or tar that just isn't going to come off with chemical products. Okay, so when you purchase this you will receive a full block, or a bar as it's known. I have used some of this, as you can see, but you will receive a full block. You will need to split this into sections. I will cover that in just a second. You don't need to use the whole bar, because if you're using the whole bar and you drop it, you have got to discard it. You can't use it back on the paint once it's been dropped on the floor, which is quite obvious. Okay, so to use, you will need to grab a section of the clay and then mould it and form it into a workable size. Now, as I'm sure you'll all know, lubrication is very important, so don't be shy with it. So you would spray a very liberal amount of lube onto the surface and gently, with just enough pressure to keep the bar against the surface, work the clay back and forth in straight lines. You need to keep checking the clay as you go to watch for any contamination being picked up, and when you can see the bar discolouring, fold and knead into a fresh side. Quite simple, just keep working like that and checking the clay regularly, and reapply lube when necessary. Feel the panel when you think you've finished and it should feel super smooth like glass. If not, rinse and repeat the steps until it is sorted. Just a point to make with Built Hamber clay. Built Hamber do say you can use their clay bars with water. Now, I'm not going to argue with Built Hamber or anyone else. My take on it is the more lubrication, the safer it is. That's just how I view it. But as always, it is entirely up to you what you use. Some people like to use a water and car shampoo solution. Others might use a quick detailer or even some kind of waterless wash. So obviously it's up to you if you use clay lube or not. Like I say, Built Hamber do say you can just use water with theirs, so if that's what they say, that's perfectly fine. I just prefer to use a clay lube. And that wraps it up. Please let me know in the comments which clay bar you do use. Built Hamber seems quite a popular choice because you do get quite a bit for your money. Next up, we'll be discussing what swale marks are, which will lead on to compounds, polishes, and creating a really good reflection on the paintwork, which is what us detailers aim for. So all that to come. Thank you very much for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.